it's time to send this over to Bryson Ton. Fellas, last series of the day. Have fun. Who you guys think is going to win 10K?
Oh, that is a big question, Velly. A big question. Lots of unknowns, actually, in this series. The biggest one being the return for LAG's player, Gunless. And I got to say, right, like, LAG's story has been kind of a roller coaster all the way through. I was genuinely looking forward to see LAG's progression when they had Gunless before he had to take that time off. Then Spark come in and they won the major, and then after the major, they went into the free-for-all. Team the worst record after their major win. Like, actually, just awful. I'm trying to find the right words about while being polite. Florida, on the other hand, are an incredibly streaky team. Consistency is not something you would associate them with, Ton.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, is that not just the most Call of Duty thing that you've ever heard in your life, though? That a team picks up a sub mid-event, literally plays with that sub, wins the event, and then has the worst record after that? Explain it to me. How can you be an analytical mind in this game, Bryce? I have no idea at times. It's quite difficult. Anyway, besides the point, yes, it was disappointing from LAG, to say the least, especially after the performance at the major. But for Florida, I would be siding with them in this series personally. They are so wildly inconsistent, but we know on their day they can beat the best of the best. And at this moment in time, you wouldn't say LAG are that. I'm curious to how PS is going to fit back into the team, though. Gunless obviously played pretty well over the course of time when LAG were just booting themselves back up, if anything. But is he just going to fit straight back in? That's the question.
It's such a big question mark. See, the LAG before Spark was a team that I was convinced they were my dark horse. I was like, this team is getting better. A lot of talent on the roster. They have the components to make it work. Does everything click back into place? Are they now going to be a little bit slow to reconnect with each other after playing with Spartan, having to make that adaptation? Or LAG back into form? And, well, starting off P1 may give us the answers.
Yeah, and that stat for Florida Mutineers was blowing my mind when we were reading through them at the beginning of the game there. A 5% break percentage on hills on this map specifically. On guard, that's crazy to me. So basically, if you don't get your rotations for it, you're going to lose. So make sure you do. And is it going to be Gunless cutting you off? Is it going to be Slasher cutting you off? It's interesting how they're going to deal with this. But so far, so good for the Mutineers. They are just about going to break in, but not before Seam can continue this 6 spree that he's managed to kick things off with.
Well, one more. So he's awakening down bottom. He's going to go for it for his kill, and he's not going to get the glide. And the Mutineers have control of Boda as well. And LAG with a great start, but only for some of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, you kind of take it on the chin when the rest of your team are doing the business. But yeah, Huke and Gunless get to get on the board. Position over towards P2, still being contested. Awakening now, trying to get some control over towards the back side.
You can see at the moment, realistically, LAG not able to make as much progress as they would want to. Vivid just cutting them down. The Mutineers locking in P2 in big fashion, and they don't know that spawner's flipped. Florida have no idea. Eventually, turns around. Vivid sees them and continues on his reign of terror. A 5 streak for him, and now they're going to have to just make sure they secure this spawn as well.
Managing to lock it down. And that's it. When it does come down to that, like when they do get a lockdown, it looks pretty good for them. When it comes down to rotational win percentage, they are second on that. And when they get there, they can hold it down quite well. But it's a case of when they don't get there, that is the problem. So if they can just make sure they rotate early, they should be good to go. They're here right now, though. Can they lock this one in? Florida. LAG pushing from the back.
Looking for a little bit of a push here. Slasher already making a pick on one. Awakening playing his life on this hill. Asim's going to go for it as well and just finds the kill easy enough. Vivid coming for the reach out. Bullets spraying through that tank. Asim eventually going to get chowed, but doesn't matter. Asim is good and it gets taken down by a nade from Huke.
I think he's just trying to help him out, sending it past, but nonetheless, LAG will manage to break back. Florida Mutineers is looking like they're licking their wounds, tail between their legs, and walking away back over towards P4. Vivid and Coach still trying to lock down P1, though, so if you are the side of the Florida Mutineers, you do want to just control that mid-map as best as you can. Keep LAG as far away as possible, doing a good job at doing so right now. Vivid, 2 kills over towards P1, looking for a 3rd over towards the scrap tight. Seem now on a little bit of a route, trying to find a breakthrough. There's mid-map control for LAG, but they've still got a couple more waves of kills to make.
Big hold here of Mutineers make this, and they are trying to find a way through, and it's Slasher again. Getting a kill outside a boat is very different to headbutting the front of this hill. You see they're trying to get stacks, they're trying to get players here as well. Then Paddy shutting them down, Sky shutting them down, Awakening shutting them down. And LAG are just not really that close as Huke gets cut down as well by boat. You see the flex coming in from Florida. They are moving out for map control.
Already moving out, really well played from Florida. They see a gap, they exploit it. And now you have to be careful if you're LAG here. You could get spawned back over towards P1 if these kills go your way, but no, it's still going to be there for the Florida Mutineers, still back there. So it's going to work out for LAG. They're going to get this rotation over towards P5. Florida Mutineers did a good job of trying to get there themselves, but LAG are going to be the first ones here, and they have a lot of map to transverse here. If you are the Mutineers, quite a few kills to get before you even have boat control. So this is wonderful play so far from LAG. They're going to need it though. It's already 60 points to the deficit. Florida really locking those hills down when they get inside of it, but as said, breaks are their problem. Can they find a break here? It should be pretty difficult.
It is in there at the moment. LAG doing a good job keeping the players from Florida as far away as possible, not allowing it to get even slightly mixy. The man everybody's talking about, Gunless, currently just trying to make sure nobody can get to his teammates in that hill. Watching the angles, Huke just staying down 5 HP at the moment. But this has been a huge hold as a 5 streak for Huke as well. Slow start, better middle.
Just trying to play peekaboo over the boxes as best as he can. He's just doing fantastically at it as well. That's a really, really nice hold from LAG. Fantastic stuff out of them, and the glaring issue with Florida's hardpoint game on Gav coming to the forefront. Every time LAG have been in there, Florida have not broke them, not even come remotely close to doing so. Rotation over towards P1 though. Florida, first one's there. Can they lock this down for some decent time? They're still in the lead. Still a good hold over towards P2 and P4 is what got the job done. Plenty more hard points still to go yet. Sasha trying to find a breakdown this left-hand side. Florida Mutineers are dug in deep over towards P1.
You see they're trying to make a way through here. Bear in mind, he does have a glide bomb in the pocket. Don't think he's going to use it here, then he needs his teammates to get a little bit close. One more push coming through. They are stacked here. Dad Paddy going to be sitting in the corner, and he takes down 2 as well. And it has been another big hold from Florida. Breaks are not something we are seeing in this hard point.
Well, the thing is, though, the holds must be good, and oh my goodness me, I mean, if it's finding kills like that, it's got to feel good for the Florida Mutineers. They're in the lead. When they get inside the hills, they can lock them down. But let's listen to the comms from the Florida Mutineers and how they're going to do it. Let's go to a listen.
Two fire tank, both watch out. Watch out hill. There's no one there. Who's
Every mid, every mid, Joe, every mid tank. Every mid tank, Joe.
Yeah, you keep on that.
I'm leaving him.
He might go deep. He might go deep.
Our steps,
Just shoot top boat.
What do you guys want to take a route, right, bro?
Watch out.
Look at the tank. One of us should take a route. Are you
Propane
taking a route, right?
Propane Eddie. Propane Eddie, what's been Bunker?
Yeah, mid bunker might be trapped.
One with propane, 100%. This is big strap. Nade downhill.
Yo, fellow. Fellow, propane in mid tank. I'm looking at fellow.
Fellow. Back up, play hill. They have a glide. They're gonna go down. Make sure. We can fight this. Still no cap.
I'm hitting ring. Yo,
You're
Austin and Ace are
big one, big left hat ring.
Alright, let's see what's covering and someone else.
Hey, I'm holding their curve. They can ring steps.
I'm watching hole.
You're helping now.
I have one hole.
They could be ring. I only have their curve.
Nice, alright.
I'm getting the ring as well.
They could be
They get on the beach.
They can go green on me.
I can go to the beach if you want, but I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna get new time, Joe. Get ready to bump it.
Can they go on the back house?
Yo, they're going mid.
Can they get me in the back? No.
Yeah, one's gonna be behind me. I think.
Maybe. I'm in the corner ring.
Go P5, Austin dead. Nice, big ones. Keep them deep.
I'm hiding in the corner ring. I have ring. They have to get ring before they streak, guys.
I'm in the back. I'm staying alive here.
I don't see shit mid right now. They're going.
Get ready to come to hill.
Yeah, I'll go.
Getting inside the bunker now. Curve, I died ring. Fuck.
I'm playing my for the back tower.
No, he's already crossing me.
Sit down, Joe.
He's already.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on the tank. He's in the tank. He's on it.
Alright.
I'm watching.
Well, a little bit of back and forth there from both teams, and I'll tell you something, realistically, this game balances on a knife edge ton.
That was a phenomenal break by LAG. I love the patience of a scene with some of the rest of his teammates. Doesn't actually get involved in the gunfights, but because his teammates win them, he can then move forward so fast into the point, but it hasn't mattered. Florida Mutineers have broke it back pretty simply. Who can a 5 spree though? Can he make this count? Yeah, 2 more to go before he can get that glide bomb. Shot's going to go in. His position will be known. Awakening will be taken down already by Gunless. So rotation going to come in here for the LAG. Going to be about 30 or so behind by the time we get over here. Florida Mutineers have done a fantastic job at holding these hills, but can they manage to do what they have not been able to do and find a good break here?
This could be the key difference. Realistically, breaks have been few and far between. This is not an easy one. Florida, though, have numbers. They have the bodies. They're going to go for this big push. As both teams butt heads as Sky's trying to make something he doesn't able to. Saturn Paddy also adding to it, and Florida fail. They fall, they flop. They are not getting into it anytime soon.
Oh, I tell you what, though, Vivid's managed to find a few kills, and all of a sudden, LAG, they're scrambling off the respawn. You got to get going. Slasher trying to lock it down on his own, is able to find one. Huke is going to fall straight off the respawn, though. Florida in a position to put the pressure on here. Skies now, even if he can just keep LAG here and stop them getting so many points on this hill, it is a win. LAG are going to take a lead. It is only slight, but Florida Mutineers in control of green, in control of boat, in control of mid-map, and it's their game to lose if they can lock in some good time here at P5.
Huke has slipped the net, though. The rest of LAG are gearing for this one. To come from the back, and Vivid wins it. The rest of LAG are going to have to consider making a move very, very quickly. Gunless is the only player who makes a kill mid-map, though. They're still pinned in boat. They're still getting taken down. They cannot find the key to unlock this hard point.
15 away. You got to go shortly if you're LAG. You're waiting for the opportune moment, but it's never opened up. There's never been a door open for them to walk through and get over towards P5. Florida Mutineers are locking this one in. LAG have got no route to get there. And the Mutineers get map number 1 done. It's the game that we said that they just struggle to break on, but when they hold, they get so many points and so much value from it. Fantastic performance from Florida Mutineers, and they take first blood in the series.
Yeah, that hard point was all determined by the rotations. Neither team really able to consistently break anything. And that must have been heart-wrenching for LAG, knowing they did so much work to get their rotation, but obviously didn't have the second one after holding it back. And Florida just went to work. Didn't let them out of boat. Huge gunfight at the back. Huke and Vivid going to war. If Huke had won it, there may have been an opportunity. Unfortunately, he did not. And LAG now down 0-1 in this series. Florida Mutineers, though, grab a win, and Vivid had a pretty good game, Tom.
24 is 20 at kills with non-traded kills. That's absurd. Fantastic stuff coming from Vivid. And honestly, I think that kill is pretty much what seals the game there. I think you're totally right on that one. I think if Huke gets behind it green, it creates such a different problem. Obviously, if you're the Florida Mutineers in that situation, all you're having to do is watch in front. Everything, you know the direction it's coming from. As soon as Huke finds a kill towards the back, or even if you just survived against Vivid in that situation, they have to put some sort of resources towards them to help them. They have to be able to lock that one down. Huke finds a kill, different story. Over towards P5, but Vivid, I mean, we may have said that he got, what was it, 28 kills in the end, but that one just as important as the other 27, I would say.
This is pretty much the story. Watch these highlights as we go through, by the way. This is the story. Every time the defending team locks it in, over and over again, every single hill. I think this is probably the most mixy it got, all the way towards P3. But just neither team really able to wrest control away on Gavoodoo. The setups were clean, they were precise.
Yeah.
And it kind of made the game a little bit anticlimactic because LAG just couldn't even get past boat.
I don't think either one of the teams, you know, we spoke about Florida's stat and the fact that they can only break 5% of hills. I don't think either team broke a hill there for the most part, maybe for a couple of seconds here and there, but nothing concrete, I would say. So the rotational battle, very much the important side of things. Florida outscored, Carson's on with the stats again, 153-5 on hills where they lost rotation. When they lost rotation, I'm trying to work that out in my head, that doesn't make sense. I'm just reading out what Carson said to me, but it sounds like when they won rotation, they 153-5 once they got that one locked in. So really good stuff out of Florida. When they get there, they can look just so undefeatable to get at that stage. So fantastic stuff out of the side of Florida. That break percentage, though, we need maybe work on that one.
All right, guys, it was a big win. No need to take a nap between games. Are you guys okay? Florida all right? I mean, there's vibing and then there's being very, very relaxed. This is a team deep in the art of Zen. Just relaxed in the dark. Vivid's gonna pretend like he's having a nap, obviously. That's what you do. I mean, after a game like that, why not just have a very relaxing time?
I wish I could switch the light off when I'm in the area. You know, I'd actually None of you would be able to see me, whether or not that is a positive thing. But nonetheless, let's have a look at Sky's overall this season. The search and destroy statistics very much lie in his favor. #1 for damage per life.
That is pretty impressive, to be fair. Obviously, that does kind of lend him some credence going into this S&D, kind of ranking up against the very best search and destroy players in all of the CDL. And Florida, look, I've got to say it again, just look very, very relaxed, very, very calm after that win. Even with it being a very close game, Ton, you thought maybe a little bit of adrenaline dumping in. On the other side of it here, of course, LAG don't look too worried either. Probably still trying to get their feet again with the roster change, the second one in only a couple of months.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different one, though. It's one of those situations where at least you know how Gunless plays. At least in that situation, it's not like you've got somebody brand new in there, right? They know how their game was with Gunless. Yes, okay, you know, Spark came in and did a great job, but they know Gunless. They know what he can do. But not, I was about to say so far so good, but no, they are one behind, of course, as we head into Berlin. Let's see if Skies can find that sort of form here on map #2. Just to clarify the reference, Carson had, Carson had been discussing it just there before. So we'll be talking about Florida's bricks, and when they lost rotation, they only got 5 points during that map. They only got 5 when they lost rotation. Only 5 points. My word. I mean, if they could break, they'd be pretty flawless on Kavutu, to be honest with you. But that one's done and dusted. We're into Berlin Search and Destroy. Let's see if, as said, Skies can get things rolling here for the Mutineers and continue this streak.
At the moment, a bit of an aggressive push you can see already. LAG have gone straight for this one. Vivid on the other side and gets taken down almost instantly. The team says thank you very much. Answer back from Dav Paddy.
Bomb is down. LAG have people in position to hold this down as well. Crucial one for me is going to be Huke. I'm curious to see what DayPaddy and Awakening are going to do, but Sky's just taking his time. Waiting for his teammates to get in a position to help them out. A little bit of gunfire, maybe just distract the seam, or who just runs out in guns. Huke will find DayPaddy as well. It's a 1 versus 3 for the side of Awakening. Good luck with this one.
Well, finds a 1, but he's going to get shot straight in the back here. That's how trading works. AG getting straight back on the horse, winning the first round of that S&D. And Seam, I mean, that first kill, straight off the bat, I'm not entirely sure what they were looking for, but he just ran in and said, all right, thank you very much, an easy one for me.
I'll play from LAG as soon as that kill comes through to open things up. It just makes your life so much easier. Got men over towards the B site. You've got that bomb down. It's unlikely you lose it from there. It's very rare that it happens. So here we go. Into the attack now for Florida Mutineers. Like a strong air hit. Huke is ready and waiting. I'll find anything. Awakening, look for the push. You can't push that because you just grenaded it, and we'll have to back on down.
Oh, Florida, having lost the first blood. We're looking to get this bomb down to give them some sort of advantage going through this. Huke just looking through the tiniest thing. I don't know if he saw anything, but bullets spraying all around the windowsill. That bomb will now go down. Keep an eye on Dav Paddy, looking for players on the flank. We can tell that there's nobody going to be here, which means he'll be late to this engagement. We're going to see the seam up top, though.
Great shots. Now Dav Paddy has to get going because the big hit at the front from LAG is here. Awakening has to hold on. It's 2 versus 2. DayPaddy, he needs to run, and here he is.
Timing's just enough, though. LAG don't really know what to do. Tell you what you shouldn't do. Reach out, Dav Paddy. He has it, and gunless, alone, outnumbered. I don't think he's going to try the defuse. He knows. He knows there's too many players around. He's not even getting the kill on the exit. The Mutineers take the round.
Nicely done. Much better from the Mutineers. I love that. Honestly, from that position where DayPaddy is there, you can either wrap back through mid and broken and get yourself into ticket to help out from there, or as said, as you've seen from him, all the way through fire. There's a couple of different options that really, really well played. Either way by DayPaddy. And just played well by the rest of the Florida side. They kind of look in that position. you have to wait on them really just to set up that kind of pinch. Lose a couple of gunfights, but they got the ace in the hole. That is Dave Paddy. And now, let's see if they can continue this. LAG. Can they answer back with an attack of their own? Looking like a nice stack. By the looks of things, Awakening get very aggressive through mid.
He may be the catalyst. You see Slasher as well. Slasher wins the gunfight. And now a little bit of light for LAG. They will be looking to go forward as Huke gets another pick at the same time. And now the call has to come in. Which direction are we going? He seems the favourite. That probably runs through mid with a pistol. Slasher's still waiting. Now Vivid's checking it out. He goes to the long range gun on the scene. He gets it for the start of a potential 1 versus 4, but a long way to go for this magic to happen. And a player is sitting in the back, and he is going to go down.
Can we talk about a couple of those gunfights? What the Vivid one was crazy, but Slasher, the absolute reaper of middle map there. First gunfight was absurd. You wouldn't expect Awakening to be down in that corner. He's pre-aiming him. And Slasher still gives him the gunny. Huge kills out of Slasher in mid-map. The one from Vivid is obviously a little bit absurd, but non-consequential. LAG, a lot more map control in that round. Well played. Now let's turn to Florida to hinder attack. It's looking like a fast 8.
Waiting, player comes straight past him and says, all right, thank you very much. Awakening just bamboozled him straight there in the sight. And now bomb's going down. Slasher looking for any sort of pick. Actually, bomb's not going down. He has waited. Dan Paddy picks up another one. Slasher's going to try and do something here. It doesn't matter if Vivid's got it as well. Everybody on LAG just falling like wheat. And down they go. Not even a sniff of getting anything going.
Good hold in the end. Just easy enough for the side of Florida there. Nothing really much to speak about on that one, wasn't it? Just fast. You find the gunfights and get the job done. Back and forth search and destroy here.
Let's see how this goes down on the attack, though. LAG looking like an A hit straight away. Florida have picked the other direction. They have numbers towards B. Sitting pretty, sitting passive as skies.
He's about to get that info.
Up here. LAG are committing.
They're going to commit to it, though. They won't obviously know that Florida Mutineers, at the moment in time, did only have one player. Awakening will make his way over. Grenade over, check the bomb. The information is there, though. A little bit of noise over towards A has walking the side of the Florida Mutineers. Good shots coming in from a seam. Is that going to be the door open for this bomb to go down? Just waiting on a bit more utility being wasted. Now Huke protecting the front door. This bomb may well go down in just a second. As a seam finds another 4v3. Bomb's going down.
This guy's looking for any sort of pick. Trying to get back into this bomb site is going to be nigh on impossible. Seems still playing around the bomb, though. There we go, makes that first pick onto him, and Skies is just firing randomly, trying to get this kill down. As the Seam finds a second, Vivid has managed to get a trade back, but it may be too little too late. As Seam says, all right, thank you very much. No! Vivid guns him off there, but with 17 seconds left to go, it's not going to mean much.
Not much you can do that from the side of Vivid. He's being left surprisingly on his own a couple of times so far, and with how fast Vivid typically plays, it's coming as a bit of a surprise. Not much he can do without a little bit of backup, I would say. LAG, though. All vibes at the moment. Just a good push comes through. His team plays that really well. I really enjoyed how they go behind the bomb, put the shots in. Like, oh, we're planting the bomb, we're planting the bomb. Yeah, waste your grenades. We're not really on it. Really well played. Get them gone and just make your life that little bit easier. Of course, time is never on your side when that is the tactic, but the kills and the map positioning where Florida Mutineers now trying to make a push over towards B. Awakening was already very, very weak, and a Seam will find him. Trades coming in, though, and I'm going to work out for the Florida Mutineers. 3v2.
Vivid will get this down, leaving it to Huke and Slasher. Trying to go around the back. And Huke finds one. Still some time to play for. Just gonna run into it. They're gonna run into each other, and Huke wins the gunfight as well. And now Fever's left alone. 26 seconds to go. Slasher's been watching very, very patiently around this bomb site.
Staying alive. He's playing this well. Just play it patiently. Scene 1, he got the information, but so did Huke. And he goes for the challenge, and that is a hell of a retake from Huke and Slasher.
Huke is outrageous. A 2 versus 3. And Huke says, all right, I'll have all 3 then.
And I like what Vivid was trying to do there. He wanted the information just a little bit more to help him out. Because when things are so close quarter, you like to either get traded or there's somebody over towards the back dock side. Not in that situation. Goes to find that information, but unfortunately for him, on the corner of his eye, Huke finds it. 7 and 3 from him, and he's impressed me all, like through this series. As Huke, we've seen some good moments from him, but the rest of the team need to just get alongside. This moment in time, it's looking like B control going to come in here. Huke just playing the island tactic over towards it.
Patience and quiet. Descend upon Berlin. LAG biding their time. Trying to see any possible way through this. Sasser throws a few bullets down from the auto, but nothing really to come of it yet. They're going to have to make a move at some point. That cross to B is going to be dangerous.
Dear buddy, going to hold this angle from the right moment. Very exposed. Ooh. And that was exposure from Huke over towards A. TJHaly will have to drop on down. What's the play here from LAG? They haven't found any kills, but Huke on his own over towards the side. They knew the shots come from here. He's going to find Skies, but not before getting traded. The rest of the team just not there in time, but this bomb has to go down fast, right? It
does, an awakening on the corner, doesn't get it. But he is going to try and distract him for just a few seconds as he goes around the back. And now Paddy's do the same thing.
Slasher
somehow wins it, and awakening around the back. He finds a seam. A seam hasn't planted. He can just dance with him all day. It's not going to matter. And what a chaotic end to that one. I just can't believe the gunfights that were flying around. Seam has to jump off the bomb to stay alive, but still lost the round.
That's tough. I think if Huke can find that kill towards plants just a little bit quicker, he maybe gets away, or does he wait for the moment where his teammates are a little bit closer? Hindsight is a wonderful thing, of course, but nonetheless, that's one of those situations that could have played out very differently a few seconds here or there on the transitions for the players. Slasher having a look back for some information himself as the crosses watch. They know there's only one player over towards A, but they know that Slasher probably not far behind. There's a cover gone for Huke that he did momentarily have. Doesn't need it though if it's going to be dealt with, not before the grenade gets cooked and put to Huke's feet. 3 versus 3.
That Puddy does love a corner. Loves the corner. The bomb will now go down for Florida. Slasher wasting no time. He's going to see Awakening all the way down the ticket. And he's going to instantly pounce on that. No hesitance from the veteran. Slasher again.
This guy's going to go in the double wrap here, actually. Oh, got this. We'll find it, but Skies behind Slasher. Now Skies has got the angle. As soon as you know the flanks coming, he flanks himself. Lovely player from Skies. Heads up players as well. As soon as he gets behind that bomb, he knows where Gunless is. As soon as Slasher is dead, Gunless might as well be as well. Fantastic stuff from Skies. Really good heads up players. Just cannot be separated, these two, in the search and destroy right now.
Well, every round is chaos. I still don't know who's coming out on top. At the moment, we jump on board with LAG. They make another push towards A. Mid-map, they're going to maybe try and wrap this. Huke going out towards the middle here. Nobody's seen him. He hits fire. The playmaker might be in the position. They have no idea he's here.
And he's going to be saying to his teammates here, right? I'm somehow in fire. Let me see if I can do something here. And there you go. That might just open things up. Florida Mutineers, though, I mean, they're very, very... I don't want to say ignorant to it, but they're quite happy to be. Still looking forward. Still don't want the cross to come in over towards B, but there it is nonetheless. They know Huke's lingering in fire. It's just a complete separate issue. This should no doubt in my mind be around over to LAG here.
Yeah, because they can't ignore Huke either. They have no idea where he is. They know roughly the area he might be in, but they haven't found him. Hide-and-seek champion of the CDL, and it has caused Florida to fall apart at the seams. Only Awakening left in a 1 versus 3, but the time is not with him, the position's not with him, and Huke cleans it up.
And in that situation there, Huke could literally just sit still. Just needs to sit still, and he would have done just as good a job as what he did there. He moved around a little bit, just trying to have a look for some information, but the presence that is there for Florida to then have to say, right, well, Huke's behind us on fire. So how do we make this push through docks? How do we make the push into office to maybe get rid of them towards the back dock side? There is then 53 million other things that you have to worry about when Huke is behind you.
They seem very aggressive. And he's gonna almost take that Paddy. Who has to back out and Slasher picks him. Guerrillas have the advantage. One more round puts them back on level pegging in this series. They're looking for it as well, it seems, as Hey Vivid.
Push over towards A, though, here, Bryce. And this first kill is going to be huge. If Skies can find one and get out, the problem is he's got the bomb. Yep, he's not the one that wants to have to commit to this. They're now on the site. The information is there. Gunless just staying alive here for LAG.
He's looking for it as well, and it's a fight versus Awakening. He's going to go for the trade as well.
Oh my
Awakening
God.
with the second. Slasher eventually gets the trade coming through, and it's 1 versus 2, and it seems it's all right. I'll take that trade then. Bomb is down. Vivid in a 1 versus 2 to stay alive in this S&D. They're going for the defuse. They're going for the defuse. He has no idea. He's going to find them. He sees a seam. Goes for it as well and just takes down Slasher. Clutches up for the Mutineers to take it to around 11. And that is ice in the vein. Little bit of hesitance, but waited. Oh my goodness. We get to see it again.
And it's a bit of a risky play call from the side of LAG. 32 seconds left on the bomb, and I'm a big advocate of getting on it early. But in that situation, when you've got 2 players left alive, you could only watch one direction when one of you is defusing the bomb. It's 50-50 at that stage. Vivid checks it nice and early and forces a round number 11. Round 11 record slightly leaning towards LAG, but it's negative nonetheless. And LAG, though, are going to open things up here with a kill on the Vivid, and all of a sudden the round is bursted to life. It's a 2 versus 4. And all the hard work from Vivid may well have just been undone like that.
Well, Florida pulled out the playbook. Unfortunately, the play was a little bit reckless. And now another clutch is the only way forward. No map positioning, no real info. And Sky's now in a 1 versus 4. Florida, after the clutch to bring it back to this. This is how you end.
Oh, if you maybe found that kill, it's potentially on the cards. But LAG, Slasher has a really, really good game there. So many influential kills in the middle of the map. Huke was fantastic in finding those routes behind and just causing chaos. 12-6 from Kyler. A really big game from him. Forces that map number 3 now all tied up. An interesting search and destroy. Another team was able to be separated. A couple of clutches here and there kind of kept Mutineers in it. It always felt like they were maybe on the back foot just a little bit. And LAG proving that in that round number 11. Take the map and they'll be heading into map number 3 all tied up.
We certainly are. Could have gone either way, but clutches galore. LAG still standing in this one, of course, and it is a very tight game, but it was on the hard point as well, if we're honest. Seems really just fighting for survival. Bearing in mind as well, something we probably should talk about a little bit is obviously 10 points for a CDL game. Bounties as well. They've added everything into this one. And it's starting to become a kind of a tight race, actually. No one's really talked about this towards champs, right? 10 points for every qualifier game, and also the ones at the lands. Everybody kind of focus on the majors. for the points going forward, but there is a considerable amount each time. There's 50 points per qualifiers, and some teams really need it. One of those teams being Florida.
There's still a lot of points on offer, but there is some of these teams who are starting to get to that stage where things are getting very, very scary, I would say. You do not want to be outside. You do not want to miss the biggest event of the year. So these teams have got to make sure they are locking in every single win that is possible, Brycey. So yeah, every game really, really matters at the moment.
It certainly does. And speaking of every game matter, we're going to go to a map number 3. Coming up right after this break, we'll see whether or not the Mutineers or the Guerrillas can take it away and go the distance. Lots of questions still to be asked and many more to be answered. We'll see you right after this.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24. by visiting zenny.com/CDL. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We jump straight into what's going to play the game on board with Huke. And this is where he just managed to get every kill he needed to in the clutch ton.
I mean, that hipfire with a pistol, disgusting. And then just spots Vivid as he's trying to sneak back around that corner and stay alive. Well played from Huke. Defuse comes in, a hell of a round out of LAG. It was a 2 versus 4 in the middle of all of that. Fantastic stuff from the boys to level the series up. And we really do have a series on our hands now, heading into the control. It's going to be hard to separate them because honestly, Florida just played that hardpoint pretty clinically. The Search and Destroy was close, but always felt like LAG were on the front foot. So yeah, heading into this control now, I'm curious to which way it is going to go, but interested nonetheless, Bryce.
No, certainly so. And of course, like we said before, right, like both of these teams have a lot of people questioning whether or not they're going to be any good. Realistically, LAG won the major with Spart. Gunless back in the mix. How does that affect things? And I still can't really tell. 2 close games hasn't given me that much of an insight into figuring out are LAG back to where they were and maybe even a little bit better or a little bit worse. Florida, I don't know how to even quantify that as a team because sometimes they're really, really good and they look like they could be the best team in the game. Well, top 3 maybe, but other times, well, here's my point. We only got to look at where they are in the overall CDL standings. Makes sense. Yeah. Very low on the scoring, and I don't know. We'll have to find out. Here's the thing. The season isn't over. This season isn't over. Both of these teams have an opportunity to make bigger runs. LAG will be looking to try and contest for another major this year. They don't want to think they've already peaked. But Florida, if I'm being honest, at this point, whether or not they make chance is the thing we need to be talking about, right? They have 70 points between, I think it's 10th and 6th or 5th is only about 20 points difference. There are a lot of teams in contention, Florida being one of them. They don't start winning their games and getting points at the majors, we may not be seeing them at the end of the year.
100%. And I think a lot of that is just translating those kills. You said it in the keys to victory, of course. A 1.08 team KD from Florida, which is 2nd overall since the Param, yet 7th in map win percentage. Slaying is not their problem. It's converting those kills into something solid. It's one of those things, they'll have to work it out. But I mean, is that half the battle? What would you rather have, teams who can slay or a team who has that teamwork already dialed in?
It's a weird one. Like this LAG thing is so weird. From every single angle, I want to believe in Gunless. I want to believe in LAG. I want to think back before everything that happened, that for me, that was a team that was constantly getting better and getting more consistent. And then they had a change, won a major, and then went on the worst losing spree that I think anybody has done. Like I think they're the team with the worst record after Major 2. Like, how does that compute? So for me, I just want to see what happens with them. It's like a wait and see.
Well, I'm excited to wait and see, Bryce, to be honest with you, see how it breaks down. But here we go into control. It is going to be Gav this time around. And I wonder if Florida Mutineers' ability to lock hills down translates into a good defense on control as well. They do such a good job at doing that when it does come down to our first game mode that kicks off a series every single time, and they do it in our 3rd here against LAG. And there's going to be kills coming in here for the side of the Guerrillas. A little bit of boat control. You can see Florida Mutineers committed quite a bit over towards B side. They don't want anything slip there.
Here comes the pressure. Florida are setting up for this one. Cut coming in from Skies, you can see it. He wants the reinforcements. But Florida aren't really making a move to this. They seem quite happy to sit back and wait.
Yeah, they really don't want to commit to this at all, do they? They're allowing Skies to get going down the beach side, and what kills now would have been fantastic. No problem for Skies from that angle. Still only 2 kills to his name, not many engagements, but that's because he's patrolling the beaches right now. Florida Mutineers are going to concede A. I want to say maybe just a little bit easily for me. I'd like to see maybe fight over a little bit more, but maybe they're confident in their B setups here.
Team looking for that player as well going through, but
That's big.
this has been a very slow Gavoodoo so far. Neither team really looking to get into the mixer. LAG currently pinned into spawn though. Can they find a way through? Keep an eye by boat. You can already see those players trying to just make their way out of it eventually, and Gunless wins a fight over there.
Oh, they've
Team
broken
also
it.
gets one.
They've broken it now. If you're Florida Mutineers, you must win these next couple of gunfights. Skies will win 1. Skies will win 2 around the back. Awakening finds another kill, and Gunless has to stay alive. He has to slow them down so they don't get spawn trapped here. But because of the push that comes through from Skies, the spawns down towards Cliff coming for LAG, and our Mutineers going to be ready for it.
Don't know, they have to win the gunfight, so they're just not really getting bodies out towards it. Slasher trying to make some plays around Radio Tower now. He's down towards the back. Awakening's going to check it, and he gets cut down, and LAG cannot find anything here so far on Gavoodoo. They got A easy enough, and ever since that, Florida have got up the shields.
And honestly, I have not had my eyes off the minimap in the bottom left corner. It's all been about that control and where the spawns are going to come in here for LAG. Florida Mutineers, as we've seen, was so happy to give up A. They've been locking the beach down. They haven't been afforded that much pressure this time around, though. The spawns that come through do not allow them just to aimlessly walk up the beach, but Awakening might just go through the middle of the map here. Kills start to come in. It's only Gunless who can answer back as Awakening does find 2. Gunless over towards green is going to be an issue, especially if Huke's going to find that kill, and Gunless may well have just broken it open on his own. 8 and 3 from him. Can PS get things going here on the attack for LAG? 7 seconds to go. You've got to get inside the point.
They're looking for it. They know where Vivid is. Somehow LAG have found something right now at the very last seconds. 2.8 remaining. Their first opportunity to get on the site, and they are seizing it with both hands. Gunless has gone huge for them. It's a 5-tick, but he goes down. Only 2 players remaining. Surely they don't throw it out. Awakening dies to the seam. And they are holding here somehow with barely a few seconds left into it. Skies jumped in as well. Huke the only one left alive. And the fairy tale is not to be. There is no Glass Slipper. There is no Prince Charming. LAG tried in the dying seconds to get that round, but it's just not enough ton.
And LAG did great work there. The problem is it just took them so long to get there, and that is due to the defensive work coming in from Florida Mutineers. Yes, okay, I will complain still about how long they didn't. They just completely give up here, didn't they? They then have so much time to then lock down B, but they do such a good job at it. Sky's pushing up down the outside, Awakening holding the mid map. Just completely controlled that side of the map. And now they have a lead. They hold their defense, but rightfully so. Now they're turn to attack.
And they'll be looking for revenge. And they're getting it so far. Slasher gets 2. Paddy under an awful lot of pressure. He goes down as well. The wall bang from Gunless. And now it's Florida who are on the other end of this situation, and you can tell they're looking for a way out. Skies may be the player. He's out towards boat. We've also got Vivid up towards top ring. Winning a couple of gunfights. Skies goes, all right, I'm going to have to back off of this one.
And LAG not nearly being as generous with the A side control as Florida Mutineers were on their defensive side. I think Huke will find another kill over towards it. LAG committing a lot of bodies over towards the boat. Seam now and Huke having what seemed like the longest gunfight ever. It was actually J Paddy, and it is going to be a Seam who wins out on this one. If Gunless will find another kill, and this next kill is influential. If Awakening cannot stay alive, if he cannot relent some of this pressure, Florida Mutineers could get stuck in their spawn.
Gunless is going to catch Nate to the teeth.
That might be the round.
Yeah. Florida going to dive it. Vivid's going to go for it. He knows he has to stop the clock, but they're winning a couple of gunfights. The Seam going to find Vivid in the middle. Does, with the rest of Florida here, with seconds ticking down at the same time. As Seam tries to stay alive, he doesn't be able to Gunless in the hill at the same time. Gets 2, and Huke drops one on his head. And that last kill will come through. I say that, but Dad Paddy's alive! Alive! And dead! And done! And somehow LAG have an even better hole on their defense.
It was a much better hold. Not a single tick. I believe, for the side of Florida Mutineers in that one. So that's a 4-tick advantage that LAG are going to take into a potential round number 5. That's very, very bad news for the side of Florida Mutineers now, who basically have to win an attack. Or it's going to go all the way down to that final round, and you are likely going to have defense. But there still is plenty to play. But what a round that was, specifically gunless. Look at that, 16-7. What a comeback to the squad.
Coming through. Paddy's going to find 2 on Cliff as well. And, well, the defense is all about Gavoo because very little's coming through. Awakening's found 1. Only 1 player remaining. Huke is out and ready. He will just be holding off Florida, allowing his teammates to get through Cliff if they can. So time ticking down. Surely somebody has to get a tick. Surely this has to be more aggressive at some point from these 2 teams.
Push starting to come through, maybe here. The side of LAG, but it seems as if Mutineers not quite as hasty in giving up A this time around. Awakening doesn't need to do it, however it is there to pick up the pieces, so much better from the side of Mutineers here. 20 seconds to go now for LAG, who have had quite a disastrous attack themselves. They haven't got near it either. I mean, it was a bad attack from Florida Mutineers, and LAG go, oh, okay, well, yeah, hold my beer. Let's just do the exact same thing. Haven't got near. Oh, they're going to get near here, though. You've got to go. You've got to go quickly, but Sky's behind. Can find Slasher. LAG will get inside, but they've got so much to worry about here.
0.7 seconds. Florida roll the dice with this, by the way. They 100% see they get the kills. That Paddy gets 1 as well. aBeZy going to find the trade, though. They get that tick onto the board. Sky's looking for a kill. Finds one. aBeZy trying to just punch his way into that tank so he can stay alive. Sky's gets him. 1 tick on the attack. We've had 3 rounds of control and only 5 ticks.
I was saying it was a complete.
What is going on with the CDL this week? I had to say this week under the control. None of these games have been normal. None of them have been even remotely like we expect to see. We're on a Gavoo where attacking looks like the world's hardest job.
But it didn't seem that difficult for LAG in the first round, I want to say that. I mean, it was hard to get a hold of B, but they nearly did. It was just time that wasn't on their side. For the last 2 rounds, I mean, nobody's had a sniff. Gavoo defense in full form here, I would say, so far, for both 2 teams. Simp and Huke, though, getting the job done again on the defensive side. Florida Mutineers have got a mountain to climb, though. If they do want to force themselves to have defense on that side, they need... Well, I mean, I don't think it's possible now. It's a 5-tick advantage. Even if you get the 5 ticks, then it goes down to lives, which may make a difference here as well. So yes, okay, they can get it done, but they would need all of it in 2 ticks over towards B, and then hope they get the kill. The death ratio side of things. Or just win it here.
He has to wait. He has to be patient. Just hold ring control. That's all Awakening wants. But maybe Florida first. Need to just make sure you get this.
Got a good life advantage here, though, Bryce. So yeah, that's fine. I think the 1 stack for them here in this situation is fine. More time to maybe extend that life lead. Slasher, you have to back down, but crucially for LAG, C finds a kill, pushes up beach. There's the kill over towards P1. So is that going to free up a little bit of momentum here? Skies needs to stay alive. He needs to find something from P1. He will get rid of aBeZy, so that relents some pressure. Slasher gets rid of Paddy and Mimba, but Sky's done so well in towards P1. That stays alive, keeps the ball rolling here for Florida Mutineers.
Yeah, I'm just making sure nobody gets through green at the moment. The Mutineers are stacked around ring. They have the numbers. They need the gunfight. Awakening already gets 1. Slasher's coming under pressure, but he does win against Vivid. Awakening gets a 2nd, but Gunless gets a trade. And Florida do not have the bodies they would like to have towards this point. Slasher's still alive. That Paddy actually just going to gun him. Guns him down, and they're now on it. The kills are all coming in for Florida. They want to end this now, but they need to get there. Dave Paddy's still alone.
Still on his own, but Skies can give cover here from the AA gun. We can talk about ticks and advantages all you want. Oh, Asim had him dead to rights. A Guardian Angel watching over Dave Paddy, and it's actually Huke who's on the other team, so God knows what's going on. But Vivid making the push now from behind. You wouldn't expect him to be inside the green, and the only person inside the green is Asim. Florida Mutineers could clean it out here, but look at the lives as well. 19-7, call it in and wrap up map number 3. Surely have the Mutineers. Oh my word.
LAG have just lost. I don't want to blame the team nade, but what a coincidence. Asim was going to get there, and that may have given them an opportunity to shut it down, but Awakening with huge kills to open proceedings. The flanks come in. Skies has gone 22-8. And from nobody being able to even sniff an offensive win, the Mutineers take it and go up 2-1 in this series.
And I know it would be easy for me to give props to Skies in the center, 22-8, but we didn't quite see it on camera. But over towards P1, when it looked like they were about to lose map control and they could have been pushed in their spawn, he finds 2 kills. He's there all alone. His teammates have been cut off behind him because the Asim's pushed all the way up through to beach. Kills the Asim, spins right, kills another at P1, and all of a sudden, LAG, yeah, okay, you got somebody over towards green, but only 1 player over towards the B point. And in that instance, LAG can't push up. They can't do anything. They just have to kind of sit back and see what Mutineers can do. And they do a great job at breaking through and finding those kills. Skies at 22-8, a great stat line, but some of those kills were massive for the squad.
Well, CDL's weird this week. It's a weird week. I said it, LAG almost had their gunners put on a 5 streak. Trying to stay alive. Reinforcements are so far away. Mutineers do get it done though, and control was, I would say, tame and low tempo for the majority. And then Florida, they just flick the switch. They just find everything they need to at the end, and they're now leading.
I just don't understand though. Like, well, no, I do understand. That's kind of just good video. I was going to say we had 2 bad attacks come out from both teams, and that's ultimately just because the other team defended it well. It was very, I want to say, difficult to push in just because of the ARs set up fantastically from both sides. And the thing is with this map, you know for a fact when you get stuck in your spawn though, and you give total map control over towards the defensive side, I'm talking top boat, you've got probably 2 people around there, somebody in mid and somebody over towards P1. That's when things become so difficult, as we watch Awakening just tear things up here. Broke it himself in some certain ways, and it was Skies who put the final nail in the coffin. Here comes the glide. He's already calling out, but the game's already choked for LAG. Find themselves behind a back and forth game. This stinks of a map 5. Absolutely reeks of it.
Yeah, it has been pretty close all the way through, but who knows what we'll see on Tuscan Hardpoint Hunt this week in the CDL. Well, just today, let's be honest, makes less sense than my hair choices, because everything is going wrong for everybody, and I still don't know. The issue for me is I've always kind of judged Call of Duty on what I know from the past and using that to match the experiences from like a decade of COD knowledge. I benchmark teams against each other. Who's good at the moment? What are the circumstances? And what can we expect to see from them, right? That's basically how the prediction should go. LAG and Florida, even this many months in, do not give me sufficient data in the reason that I can be consistent in the way I want to predict how I think they're going to play. Even when we go map by map, even when we go team by team, they're hot and they're cold. LAG have got mitigating circumstances. Even not even that team. You talk about other teams in this league right now. London have mitigating circumstances. They've had to make a roster change. OpTic have had to make several roster changes. And it's not always because they have to. You know, you get these things, you come in with a new player, like, oh, we're making a change. We're getting in some new blood. That's it. These are things that people have had to sub out and come back in, and issues and illnesses and everything. It's crazy to try and predict how this is going to go down. The only thing I have right now is that LAG have won a major, and it puts them in such a great position for the rest of the year, because that amount of points is worth way more than you would get from winning all 5 qualifiers in the week and getting some points at a major as well. So they've put themselves season-wise in a position that if they want to get to champs, it's actually pretty easy for them. Florida, on the other hand, I think 45 points behind them. So a win here on this map closes that gap ever so slightly and makes their run a bit easier.
Every game is important. And just that little bit more
I feel like people
important
don't
this
know
week.
that. I feel like people aren't
I
thinking
know,
this
I
through.
know, I know.
Check the run for champs, by the way, ends in 2 months. That's it. In 2 months' time, teams will no longer be going to champs.
It's a scary thought for a lot of these teams. There is a lot of Call of Duty to be played, but it's very scary for a lot of these teams now. It's getting that stage where if you are going to start turning up, you really, really need to do it. But I suppose you could then throw in the instance of, did anybody think that LAG were going to win an event? Could that happen again? With the way that some of the games that went tonight, then probably could, Brycey. You never know. Now just throw a spanner in the works. Is it Paris to win in Toronto? Who knows?
Probably the only way they get the champs at this point, but we'll have to find out. Enough about other teams. We're on to this game, and Florida open up proceedings. They have got the first points going through, and the slaying is paying. Huke looking towards mid-map, but the rest of his team are a long way away. No trade there, son.
Not going to help out here. On the side of LAG, Florida Mutineers now seemingly feeling it as we head over towards Tuscan. But as far as it goes for Florida, their setups are pretty weak when it does come down to Tuscan. On Gavutu, they're great. Fantastic at it. We're seeing how well they locked each and every hill down that they were their first to. But when it comes down to Tuscan, they are 11th in hold percentage. Only 62% of the hills they get to first do they hold. So, LAG, your break percentage needs to be solid here. Get yourself rolling. Get Huke and Co running at them and breaking these cuts. And see if you can find a way into this game and back into the series. Map number 5 beckons if you can do so.
Flasher holding it. Not quite able to get the second. Tries desperately, but Gunner swings out. Looks for one, looks for the second. All Gunny in the feed at the moment, and he looks for the third, but Skies pips him to the post. LAG still holding this, though.
Still holding it well. Florida can't find a route through, and sometimes P2 can be very, very messy for the squads in terms of trying to lock it down, but it seems done well. Finds another little slide cancel into Awaken, and we'll see you later. Back to the respawn queue you go. Huke is the first one here, though. And he's actually got a pinch being set up here as his teammate can be here to help him out. If he could just wait in 1 more second. I don't think they knew where the Florida Mutineers were, and that rotation will belong to the Florida Mutineers. As we head over towards P3, slight lead for them as well, as far as LAG are concerned as well. And that was unfortunate. Nearly a break comes through, but Florida Mutineers there, ready set up, getting the points on the board.
They're going to be looking for this push towards it, and that is going to be a big push. It forces Florida to look multiple directions at once. This guy's in a good position for this one and does pick it up as well. Maybe LAG could have done with a second angle on that attack, but not going to work out for them. Vivid now holding down this position, but will be found as well. LAG still trying to make a go of this, and Skies is just being difficult.
Vivid did a great job there in helping his team to lock that one down. Now you're going to get rid of Skies. Oh, it's another team nade coming in from LAG. Well, maybe not count our chickens as far as casting, well, I want to say costing the game here with that one, but there's been a few wayward grenades. I want to just say this week in general. Vivid now. Trying to make this push here. He did fantastic on the previous hill, to be honest with you. Found 2 kills around tile side. Pushed that out. Forces the spawns for LAG to then go over towards field. Makes Florida Mutineers' job very much easier. This is rotation out to church. Belongs to LAG. Can Mutineers break it? You got Dave Paddy at the back.
They're waiting for it, going for the pinch at the same time. Huke does manage to get one in there. And now a little bit of a mixer as the teams reposition. Huke still playing that top church position as well. But aSim comes around the back. And LAG clear it out as well. aSim gets another one. Tuscan is his playground an awful lot of the time. And they need him this map as well. Sky's going to break him down eventually. One last roll here for Florida before they have to consider the P5 push.
Top church has been given up by the side of Florida. They're going to find a route through, but not before Vivid finds Skies. But the rest of the kills going their way. Vivid will find another. Oh my god, he's a clean wipe. For the side of Florida Mutineers, it's a good break, but only around 18 seconds to go by the time they got here. But it's going to give them rotation over towards P5. It forces LAG towards the back. Going to have to fight their way out, and fight their way out they have. 5 seconds remaining. They'll pick up that scrap, but Florida Mutineers are going to be the first ones here. But that break percentage for LAG, is it going to go in your favor? Florida struggling to hold hills. They did well over towards P3. Can they do the job here on P5?
Well, you can see They know what is happening, what is coming. Daft Paddy, they're surely going to check this corner. Gunless is going to see him as well. Slasher gets another kill, and the pressure is now on. Players already rushing through. Gunless is going to try and do something here, but Vivid is holding off
what
an
a hold.
Awakening. That's a 2 versus 4 in the hill. Slasher's on a 5 spree. He just wasn't as involved there maybe as he wanted to be.
Oh, the gun there from Daft Paddy. He's done so well. A really nice hold from Florida. Props to Awakening and Vivid just staying alive inside the hill as best as they can. They've got rotation here as well. Daft Paddy's going to have to back on down. Needs a bit of help from his teammates. Sees a seam. He was expected to be behind the point, but this kill feed has been all green over the past 30 seconds. This has been such a flourish from Florida Mutineers. Really good hold over towards P5. They get the rotation as well.
And now, trying to figure out where these players from LAG are going to be. It was a little bit difficult, and you can see the pressure comes in. They do not hold you. They do not have the middle. Vivid trying to do his best, has to stay alive here with little points available. Here come Florida once again. At the moment, LAG holding fast. Slasher and Gunless, the duo are back.
Gunless not necessarily up to the best starts here on Tuscan, but can he pick it up? Well, isn't able to find that kill. Is he going to get traded? Not quite, but Huke now pressing the issue on this rotation over towards P2. It was a really nice break by Guerrillas. Mutineers not able to look the setup in, and it's just so surprising that they've got such a huge chunk of time over towards P5. We know how mixy that can be. They picked up a good 30-40 seconds there, Bryce.
We really did, and I'll tell you something. I want to jump on board with Slasher, who's having a great game right now, so let's go for an LAG. Listen in.
On the back alley, heady weak.
Really weak there. Did he push?
He's still there at the gen,
Yeah, I saw.
I'm trying to help you.
I'm needing back alley.
Wakening weak back alley.
Back alley.
One top alley, 100%.
I'm gonna need help here.
I don't see him back up corner.
I don't see him back alley.
Across.
Go, help me through.
Top green, one shot dead.
Stop up.
Got me top rails.
Absolute.
On time, Standy might
One push
push
short.
out.
Good job, Theo. One is on time.
Top
three.
last guy backside time. He's
I'm trying to help you on time.
behind the statue,
Yeah, well,
like box corner area.
Yeah,
He's close box corner on me.
Naded it.
I'm corner dead.
Good job.
Could be short, could be
Quiet.
short.
Molding push.
Short,
time.
David,
It's a
one
good
bullet
time.
short.
I need him on time.
I don't see him
David,
pushing.
one bullet
I
short.
don't see him.
Every flat.
Top
Dead.
church, top
Dead.
church,
Good
top
job.
church. Maybe going
Top green, Dave, one shot.
I'm pushing
got
top
one.
green. Top green.
This
Dead.
side.
Got him.
Push,
I'm
let's go.
already pushing roof.
We're
Already
missing
pushing
one.
roof.
I just want to they flip. This is
They
perfect.
flip.
This is perfect, guys.
One guy's probably
I'm
here.
gonna try to cut your field, guys.
Got me roof.
One
One is
dirty
roof.
field on
That
me.
was the guy we
Two
were
bomb
looking
church
for.
in middle.
Awakening his roof. They're gonna
Field
come
on me,
through left.
Caesar.
Dead.
One dirty
That's
field
the
on me.
one
One
guy.
top
That's
green,
the one guy. I'm
two
trying to clear
P5
your middle.
color.
Okay.
P5 and yo top
chasing you, roof.
to the
Spawned
back.
out. We spawned out.
In the back, absolute
They're gonna
ribbon.
be roof.
Alright, take your time.
Gonna go around the left here.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Almost push out right. Season mid
I
head.
get
2
Nate
seconds here,
cell
good job,
spot.
one.
Nate cell spot.
I'm nading it.
Top fire.
One
Got
guy's
left.
in you, he
Top
pushed
fire.
out.
One
Fire
back,
back,
fire,
top party in the back. Give me a sec. I can make a spin.
Fire on you.
I'm in the back.
Top
I'm in the back.
fire in mid lane.
Top fire, I'm going top fire.
Yep. Top fire
Dead,
dead.
I got you.
I'm one shot.
One is he's
Leave me
close
here,
right
Tyler,
up.
I'm one shot.
Laying
Okay, I'm
down,
with you.
like
What's
behind the
ours?
ground.
Absolute laying down.
Well, LAG struggling under the guns of Florida Mutineers. It's slipping further and further away. They have to keep going now. They have to try and get back into this on this point. They cannot afford to give away all of this scrap time. Unfortunately, they are just not winning enough gunfights. And as they say that, they actually get it. As we go for this rotation ton, though, they really need a step up. Slasher
really do.
has been winning more gunfights than probably the rest of his team, I'll be honest.
And honestly, the comms were really good there from the side of LAG, but they just didn't quite coordinate it as well as I would have liked. Got this push around from behind it. He maybe just needed a couple of occasions where if they all pushed together just a little bit better, they would have been in a good spot. Nonetheless, Florida Mutineers with a stout defense over towards P3, and the rotation for them over towards P4 is there as well. Daft Paddy towards the back is going to find one. It's an easy kill on the Huke as well. This has been such a good hold so far, and Bryce, they can win it here in church.
Surely you can't win it with a church hold. Like, that just doesn't happen. But at the moment, Florida are just cutting down LAG over and over again. Gunners break through. It will be a trade. Skies get two as well. They keep trying to stay alive. Pre-fire coming through. Not able to get it. And it's still Florida's. LAG have to move. They have to get all the way through. They win the gunfight in the middle. They've broken this. Trying to stay alive. Awakening. Pre-fire. Oh, no. That tick's not going to go for him. But Daft Paddy is here, and he goes. Oh my goodness, Gunless eventually falls, and Vivid is now alone as it ticks all the way over, and it's heartbreak for LAG as the desk goes berserk. Oh my goodness, the Mutineers walk away with that one. The slaying was just so far in their favor, Ton.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was mesmerized by Valley. What? That great holds from Florida. Fantastic. Like, much better than we talked about. Their hold percentage before this time around was only 62%. But every time we've seen those rotations locked in fairly cleanly, they did such a good job at securing that time. Loads of time at P5, loads of time at P3, and to finish it off on Church is the cherry on top. Just an outslaying performance. We talked so many times about how their KD is so good as a team, but they made it count there that time around.
Minus
The stats. Yeah, no, that's it. That's not great. That's not great. But nonetheless, a really, really good performance from Florida Mutineers. They were so stubborn. When some of those breaks looked like they were going to come through, but they just found that extra trade that went in their favor every single time. It never looked like LAG were going to come back or win that game. It never felt like that.
Yeah, yeah, you are right. That is the way to sum it up. Realistically, that looked like Florida's game for the majority of it. The slaying just wasn't there for LAG. It just never seemed like they had the opportunity to maybe dominate the kill feed in the way you would want to. I thought Slasher was having a great game. Some of the kills he made were very, very influential. Unfortunately, if you make an influential kill but nobody else makes one, it slightly becomes worthless.
And to look back at that search and destroy. Sorry for the Florida Mutineers as well, and sort of say to themselves they could have done better there, but map number 1 pretty close. 3, you kind of just, you can't say anything else other than a good Florida attack. It was a good Florida performance, that it really was. I said the search and destroy, you can maybe talk about just a little bit, but rotations of both hard points from the Florida Mutineers is what gets it done for them. Really solid there. They held them when they got there as well, and that is a good 1-3-4 performance, Pricey. Search destroy, yeah, it doesn't matter. Just slay them off the map and we win the rest.
I've got to say, though, for LAG, the first 2 maps were their best performances. Could have happened on Voodoo, could have definitely happened on Berlin. Unfortunately, the control was out of their reach, and then the hard point just never got going. Just never really looked like it was going to be their game. And obviously, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. You have to say, Ton, that it is a team that is basically reforming this roster and looking to pick up where they left off. And there might be a little bit of travel left still on the tires before they can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to get things rolling again. You know, things have changed since Pierce had to drop out. Gunless obviously now better feeling at that position where he could play the game. We could hear his influential calls throughout that, but unfortunately, just the gunning wasn't quite there on occasions, and Florida came out swinging.
It certainly does. Well, we're going to throw it back to the desk, because a phrase that has taken new meaning since we saw Valley just a few seconds ago.
You like that, right?
Hey, listen, you're done with their shenanigans.
It's not working.
Yo, Bryce said, I miss you guys. Great commentary, by the way. But yo, shout out, there we go. Shout out to Florida for winning $10,000 today in their Bounty Week match against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. And Nameless, you come back on the desk styling, man. You come up here with good predictions. You on point with the last one.
That was a 5-head, yeah. I mean, it really comes down to the Gavutus. And honestly, what we saw to Florida, it was fantastic. I mean, even thinking about the Tuscan that we all just witnessed, like that P3 hold from the front was beautiful. They had them locked in. They had somebody watching the cross back towards P5 as well. If they decided to rotate, they trapped them in Skies and Awakening, getting the 2 big ones to hold down the time. I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, even on the first map as well, when we rotated over towards that P4, locking down the time, and to think next level, to get top of the boat, pick up those kills, and give yourself a chance for P5. Like, they're playing good, hard point. Yeah. A big turnaround from the last series we saw them have versus OpTic.
You're right, that was a gorgeous setup. But by the way, we have Dave Patty standing by for a Game Field post-victory spotlight. Let's get that man on the screen. Dave, how's it going, man? Dave, I just got to come out outright and say this, okay? After Major 2, I was all in for Florida. You guys just ran things at that event, right? But after that event, you guys start to struggle a little bit. Can you walk us through about what was going on behind the scenes with the team and, you know, how can you get back on track?
Well, it was a weird slump in a way that, like, we knew that our, like, glaring weakness in our, like, game modes was Search and Destroy. And I feel like maybe we put too much, like, focus on Search and Destroy, and we actually started becoming worse at, like, our bread and butter, like, hardpoint and control. So, like, and then we became like average or search and destroy, let's say, but then like our other modes suffered greatly. So that's what happened, where like we, you know, maybe didn't seem as strong as we were in stage 2 or major 2.
It's good to see you back in your groove.
You know, I'm going to be straight up. Obviously, I've kind of been y'all's hardest critic, and after that OpTic series and seeing Skies with 2 minutes in Hill, I was hitting my head for you guys. Big Wake had over 1+ in time this time, and you guys were winning so comfortably. Is it just kind of like the pacing sometimes gets a little bit off track with you guys when it comes to respawn?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when everyone has like even hill time, that's when like everyone's comfortable on the map. The flow is going correctly. Our game plan is like correctly being implemented into the game.
Yeah.
When we have a guy with 2 minutes, like obviously something is wrong. Like the guy in hill, like he needs to, you know, be more active, and like people need to like force him to be more active. Like the guy in hill doesn't know what's going on, and that's why he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
But when we all understand what's going on, that's when, you know, we get the even time, and the guy like in hill can push out, know where to look, and that's where, you know, wins result from.
Wow, incredible response, actually.
Yeah, you know, Dave, honestly, you talk about your search and destroy, 2 and 8 across the last 10 from what we've seen. And, you know, you guys saying that you need to work on it and get better at it. What have you guys identified to be like the biggest issue for you guys in search?
Well, just mid-round adjustments. I mean, especially with how Vanguard search and destroy is, we're like, strategies aren't really that in depth with the way the maps are played.
Sure.
So it's all just, you know, like itches mid-round and just play calls and, you know, making correct like adjustments mid-round based off what you see. So like we were just like practicing in practice, you know, like making sure that we're all on the same page mid-round and doing what we need to do like together, because sometimes we're off track. One guy's thinking to push, other guy's thinking to stay. So, you know, like we just got to work on that more.
You know, Dave,
down today.
You guys worked on a lot this year, so I got to give you credit where credit is due. You won a big game. You got $10,000.
10K.
Yo, I want to say this. I want to see you guys continue to tear it up the way you did at Major 2, okay? And also, my question to you, the last 2 pros, okay, they gave us boring answers. They're going to save their money. What are you doing with your share of $10,000?
Well, I'm a huge Celtics fan. They're, you know, playing in the conference finals against Miami Heat. We live in Florida. I went to game 1.
Nice.
Pretty expensive, so I have to, you know, go another time.
Well, you got courtside seat,
Dave. Game 1, got to see Jimmy Buckets absolutely pop off, man. It's tough.
So let's go. Hey, great win. Enjoy the next game. You know what? I'm rooting for Celtics to win that series, too. I'm a Lakers fan. I don't care. But, hey, we'll catch you next time, right, Dave?
All right. See you.
No problem. All right, shout out to Dave Patty right there. I got to just throw it back to Major 2 for a second. When Florida was on the tear, Dave was so cocky and confident for his team. I loved it. It's good to see Florida back in their winning ways. But, Ali, I want to see it consistently, right?
Yes, gosh. Florida confuses me so much because you never know what you're going to get. But this time, we got a very consistent Florida across the board. And like Dave said, they've recognized their problems, and hopefully moving forward, they're going to find some consistency.
Right. And so for you, ladies and gentlemen at home, we actually have a game for your tactical play. Let's talk about it, all right? Because when it came to Boston Breach, Nero stepped up in the biggest way possible, and he was having highlight reels throughout the entirety of the series. And Ali, I love what I saw from him today.
Bro, Nero's insane. He'll be in the most ridiculous situation, and he's just able to pick up 2 kills. The kills that we saw him get there in secret were absolutely ridiculous. Ali was going nuts.
I remember we were watching this, we were like, Cap, call the glide, call the glide, call the glide, call the glide. He sits in train room, he calls the glide, and I just know it's calm. Like, okay, guys, there's 1 in fire, 1 on office, and then there's 2 inside of the B side, and then Nero's just like, all right, watch this, guys. He breaks double doors. He's not even looking at that corner, snaps onto this guy. It's just pure reaction time.
You're literally never expecting him to be there as well. Like, also, his timing is insane. We see it into the control. We see it in multiple different parts of the series. Like, Nero will literally just fly at you. And it was him and Cap in this. Like, Cap was picking up first bloods, and Nero was in, like, the weird spots just behind you, picking up the kills to make the round impossible. So, you know, for Boston Breach, that is their dynamic when they win Search and Destroy, when those 2 guys are making plays.
I just can't believe Nero would hear in comms, there's 2 in B site and just run at it. Like, that is the most insane thing I think I've ever seen.
Shout out to the Ohio native right there. Nero, you were fantastic today. Shout out to you. But you know who else was fantastic? It was Boston Breach, the team as a whole, right? Because that team got a big win over London today, and London looked really good last week. We got to see more of Harry in this matchup, but at the end of the day, it was all about Boston, and even seeing Tej make a great appearance at the end was lovely.
No, Tej actually across the board in this series was playing so incredibly well. The amount of 2 pieces that he got under his belt to just save some time for his team, save some map control. It was just like, oh, okay, Tej, oh, okay, pop off, Tej. And I feel like that's something that we want to see from him specifically more consistently, right? Because when he's just popping off, this team as a whole, I feel like evolved to a whole nother level.
I feel like Boston's evolving to another level in general, right? Because from stage 1 all the way until now, I mean, we all remember it. We was always talking about Methodz or Big Cap or TJHaly or even Nero, but it was one by one, right? We really didn't see Boston pop off as a unit. We saw it today, and I like the future that this team is heading towards. They're always on the upward sprint.
It's tough for me. I feel like Boston's still just that middle of the pack team.
But they're missing something, right?
Yeah, they're just missing something. I really think it just comes down when they play some of the tougher teams in the league, like staying consistent. I think Berlin, how good they looked in the control today, like that's the biggest takeaway I have from this series was that Berlin control, because if they can add that map to their map set, that'll give them like sort of an edge going into a lot of series.
Right.
But for them, it just seems like they can contend with the most of them, but sometimes they fall short, especially in the hard points as of late. Like when they were going on that streak in hard point, we saw Methodz absolutely taking over games, and it hasn't been exactly the same since.
Right, and you know what I picked up today? It was Minnesota Røkkr being great, okay? This team, you just can't count them out at all. This team is looking better than ever, and is led by the newcomer. It's going to be Havok.
Unfortunately, I think there's a little bit of a mental block for Toronto Ultra when it comes to Minnesota Røkkr and getting reverse swept. But the Kings of the North, Minnesota Røkkr, end out on top in this series, and it was Havok all the way. Man, he just started turning up, especially in that Tuscan. We were sitting there mind blown. I was like, there's just no way Havok drops 40 and they end up losing this map. Minnesota clutch up in the end and end up finishing the reverse sweep in the series.
Nameless came out of the hyperbolic time chamber out there in Chicago, came back and saw a brand new Minnesota Røkkr. Priestahh's going positive.
Yo.
He's having impact kills.
First off, I just gotta say this series was absolutely fire. Like that was a really good series. Some high-level plays on both sides of things. I mean, really just like one play in that hard point on Tuscan changed the entire thing. But looking at the Minnesota Røkkr, Cold Havok, this guy was popping off. I mean, when it really comes down to is like you can't allow a guy like that to just charge you and win his ones like that. Like they were not winning any fights against Havok. He would literally get a kill, dip out, reflank them. They were losing him in their communication. In the search and destroy in that Game 5 Desert Siege, like he would get mid-map, right? They'd get information on him, and all of a sudden he'd be behind them. So they're giving up lanes. There's a lapse in communication. Like right here, for example, that can't happen. You know Havok's still on the map. He's been playing hyper aggressive. You have to eliminate the different lanes that he can come from. So for Toronto Ultra, it was just a matter of they ran into a player who's super aggressive, on fire, and they weren't accounting for it. And
I want to give a big shout out, excuse me, to Toronto Ultra as well, because this team, even though they lost today, we saw some good things from them, but I would like to see them really pretty much tying the ship, right? But let's also take a look at the points right now. Yes, it's not a surprise. Atlanta FaZe, number 1 team in the league, along with OpTic Texas right behind them, about 5 points, right? But take a look at the middle of the pack. In that race, there's a lot of teams with 80 points.
It's a 4-way tie right now between the likes of 6th place and 9th. So that's a lot of change that could be coming here in the next few days.
And New York Subliners in 11th place with 50 points. This team can upset everybody and also make it a champs if they win.
Yeah, but what's tough is like all the teams above them have been like 1-1. Like they look way better. They look more solid, and they keep getting these wins. So for New York, they have to like win out, man, or they just have to outplace all of them at the major.
Okay, Nameless. Listen, man, Bounty Week has been fun so far. You came back to us just throwing money on the desk. We were going rogue. I mean, this is kind of cool, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is dope. I mean, $10,000 on the line for each of these matches adds another layer of pressure, and you're seeing some people turn up in the clutch moments. So don't forget, this isn't the only day that we have bounties on these matches. We have some more bounties throughout the week, and, I'm looking at tomorrow, we get the New York bounty match, then LA Thieves in Seattle, but also the Atlanta FaZe and OpTic Texas bounty match is going to be litty on Sunday.
I do want to throw this out there, okay, because when Major 3 comes around, the challengers bracket, you're definitely going to want to play in that because, listen, as someone that was a pro gamer, I worked my way up from challengers and whatnot as well. In my respective games, you get better by playing better competition. Absolutely. And trust me, you don't want to miss the opportunity to just go to an open bracket, meet some new faces, potentially future teammates, right? And also have a blast.
I mean, we're broken records here. We've seen what challengers players have done to the CDL this year. I think this year has been the most impactful in the likes of challengers players being brought up in the beginning of the season, over half the league being rookies, and even in the middle of the season, we have challenger players getting subbed in mid-open bracket, by the way, and winning Major 2. So you don't know what's going to happen. Come out, show out, and get your name out there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it on the desk right here. We're going to shut things down. Once again, we got Ali, we got Nameless. My name is Veli, and Nameless, Welcome back to the desk, man. Ali and I went a little bit rogue last week, but it's good to have you back in the mix. I'm loving the energy, right? But for those of you at home, I really hope that you all love what we've been doing for Bounty Week so far. We've been having a lot of fun. We've been giving away a lot of money. But tomorrow, we're going to continue on with a few more Bounty matches. So once again, I'm going to give a big shout out to all the teams that won today. Shout out to Boston, shout out to Minnesota Røkkr, and most importantly, shout out to the Florida Mutineers for winning the last series of the day. So we're going to continue to make it rain all the way throughout this weekend. So for those of you at home, stay safe. We love you. Take care of each other. Love each other. Spread love. And we'll catch you next time for more Call of Duty action. You take it easy.